Putin and his generals are looking a little nervous as the Ukrainian advance into the Russian Oblast of Kursk enters its third day. Everyone, Johnny here, don't speak news, so if you look at their faces, I know we can't understand the language, but there's a translation here. They do look a little nervous. A little distressed, maybe. I don't think they were expecting this incursion to go on as long as it has. Like I said, this is now into its third day. So we'll skip the meeting here and move on to the main story at hand. As Ukrainian forces reach 10 kilometers into Russia's Kursk region, as this raid enters its third day. So the Ukrainian attack on Russian territory in the Kursk region is by far the most serious cross-border assault by Kiev forces of the entire war, and it's now in its third day. A report by the Washington-based Institute for the Study of War says that Ukrainian troops have advanced up to 10 kilometers inside Russian territory, while some unconfirmed reports have claimed a further reach. Yes, I've heard of further as well. But I can't confirm that. As far as the Ukrainian forces can say, they've made confirmation that they've advanced up to 10 kilometers into Russia's Kursk Oblast amid continued mechanized offensive operations on Russian territory. The current confirmed extent and location of Ukrainian advances in the Kursk Oblast indicate that Ukrainian forces have penetrated at least 2 Russian defensive lines and a stronghold. The assault kicked off early Tuesday morning, and by Wednesday, the Ukrainians claimed the capture of Sudza, which lies about 8 kilometers across the Ukrainian border and has a key gas logistical hub in the same city. Zelensky's office kept quiet as the offensive initially unfolded, but presidential aide Podolyak has since said on social media the root cause of any escalation, shelling, military actions, forced evacuations, and destruction of normal life forms, including within the Russian Federation's own territories like Kursk and Belgorod, is solely Russia's unequivocal aggression. Right. Sure thing. Anyway, more propaganda from them, as always. But to go along with that, we see here, critical situation in Kursk. The thunderous Ukrainian advance continues. Kiev is preparing 3 brigades for the second wave. And as we can see in this update on Telegram, here's some video footage of the Ukrainians, from the Ukrainians, by the way, inside of Kursk Oblast. I'm going to scroll down here a little bit. The armed forces of Ukraine, along with NATO instructors my butt, are now digging in on the captured territories inside Kursk. They say they're digging in well. The Ukrainian armed forces dig very good, deep trenches. Fire points are now also set up for heavy equipment. So there you go, guys. The Kursk region of Russia, or Ukraine and NATO are heavily bombing positions of the Russian army to make the ground clear for Ukrainian troops operation toward the city of Kursk and the NPP. So here we go. It's not ending anytime soon, it looks like. In the state of emergency, Ukraine evacuates 6,000 people from Sumy. The situation in Kursk is extremely critical, according to Russian journalists and analysts, as the lightning-fast Ukrainian advance continues. The Russians are officially talking about 1,000 Ukrainian soldiers who managed to reach a depth of 20 to 25 kilometers within the Russian territory. But this is the most important. In Sumy, they are in a state of waiting for an additional 3 Ukrainian brigades. The whole area will be turned into a battlefield. That's why the Ukrainians are starting to evacuate the civilian population from 23 areas of Sumy. According to Russian sources, the Ukrainians occupied these settlements here. According to Rybar, all the weight is currently falling on the defense of Karevino, which is in immediate danger. The Russian Air Force is constantly operating on the Karenivo Sudza axis. There are fierce battles in the city center in Sudza. The objective of the Ukrainians seems to be the withdrawal of Russian forces from Kharkov and the creation of an asphalt zone. It's impossible for their goal to be even more ambitious. And so here's some Russian channels publishing a map of the alleged advance so far. You can see it's well into Ukraine. There's the borders right here, where you can see the contrast of the greens. And then this lighter area is where they've advanced into. And now they're digging in, along with NATO troops. So Kiev is preparing 3 brigades for the second wave of the attack. Russian war correspondent Sladkov recently stated, "Situation in the border area of Kursk is deteriorating. The night will reveal a lot. The enemy is copying our move to the city of Volchansk and the village of Lipsy. Ukrainian armed forces reconnaissance teams have located weak areas, and the enemy has quickly dropped a second step into battle. In the Sumy area, the enemy has gathered 3 brigades. The best right now, the enemy strike force is in the city of Glukov. From Glukov, it's easy to move on to the city of Rilsk. At the same time, other Ukrainian forces have gone to the city of Sunza on both sides, encircling it. They can bypass it and head to the city of Korinavev or the city of Kursk. The enemy is on his way to the city of Korinavev and on his way to the city of Kursk. It will be difficult for us to move reserves. The enemy's intentions are unclear. Currently, there are about 1,000 Ukrainians in the border area of Kursk and the reserves located in the Sumy area. The enemy's troops are well covered by air defense and E-war, I'm assuming electronic warfare. Everything is calculated. The enemy is insidious and strong. So the enemy hits the border areas of Belgorod. They will not move onto our territory. Behind them are our troops in the city of Volchansk and near the village of Lipsky. They will continue to bomb the city of Belgorod. The Kursk region and the Belgorod region are a single business for Kiev. So I'll let you read the rest on your own. But wow, guys, it just continues to develop and continues to get worse for Russia. So now we have to ask ourselves in this situation, as if it continues to deteriorate, does Russia resort to tactical nukes? It is a possibility in order to get these forces out of the region and do it quickly. We'll have to keep our eyes on things like we always do. And then switching over to Israel real quick, as we're still waiting on the Iranian and Hezbollah response, which could be delayed for Lord knows how long. Hezbollah, for their part, is saying that the waiting game is part of the psychological operation against the Israelis, which is being quite effective because the Israelis are thinking about seriously doing a preemptive strike on Hezbollah at least. But now they're saying that hundreds of Iranian missiles are aimed at strategic value facilities across Jerusalem as the U.S. sends F-22 squadrons. They say Iran will strike a spectacular blow to Israel's heart. The United States is hastily transferring additional aid to the Middle East as Western Secret Services information speaks of very dangerous and radically different from that of April, Iranian attack that will take place in 3 stages with the main goal. And of course, they skipped that part. This is a translation from Greek, guys, so bear with me. For this reason, the United States transported an F-22 Raptor squadron from Alaska's Elmendorf Air Base and an F-18 squadron from the USS Theodore Roosevelt. The United States is concerned about both the scope and depth of the Iranian attack and the reaction of Israel. In fact, they do not rule out a possible Israeli deterrent or preemptive strike. The United States is concerned about possible Israel's precautionary action. They even asked Jerusalem for early notice if the Israelis hit first. Well, like the last time for the assassination on the Hamas official, they didn't tell Washington until after it happened. So it's characteristic that the Minister of Defense, Gallant, told the Israeli pilots and the air forces to prepare for the unexpected, be ready for action in a short time. They're saying Iranian missiles have been launched across the country. The United States have identified Iranian preparations for a possible military response in Israel. U.S. intelligence officials have observed Iranian armed forces conducting military exercises as well as indicating preparations for an attack on Israel. And that's really where we stand, guys. There's all these preparations, all this rhetoric, all this equipment being moved around. No action as of yet, except for the normal skirmishes going on between Israel and Hezbollah as usual. And that'll be it for now. I have been very sick today, so this was not easy for me to do. My guts are acting up in a really horrible way since last night. So if you could keep me in your prayers, that would be awesome. And don't forget, don'tspeaknews.com is home base for everything that we do. A lot of stories here, over 2,000 now, and most of them we can't report anywhere else. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, so every time there's a new blog or video, hit the subscribe tab, type in your email here, hit subscribe, and you're in. And then if you want to send me a link, here's 2 emails, don'tspeaknews@Proton and jstorm2112@Yahoo. Those are the 2 ways to contact me. And you can find us on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, and Telegram. And here are all the links to find us right here. And we are listener supported only. Thank you to everyone who supported throughout the years. It's greatly appreciated and needed. Just click the channel support tab here if you'd like to support us, and here are all the different ways you can do that. And that will be it for now. God bless, take care. Johnny Storm, Don't Speak News.